Hi, welcome once again to Virtual Vision FM, your platform to all things spiritual. I am here today with my co-host, the Reverend Ted Woodruff, and the international medium, well, I guess I should say trance medium and trance healer, Nick Humphreys. Welcome, Ted. Hi, Nick. Come on board.
There I am.
There
Good
you
Hello.
evening, Era. Good evening, Nick.
Good evening. Good evening.
The first thing I want to say is happy birthday to Nina Ashby. It is her birthday today, so feel free to go on to the Virtual Vision FM page on Facebook and leave some congratulations there for her. I'm sure she would love to read all of your messages. It kind of buoys her spirit at this time, I would think. So, Ted, Nick, I'm going to go to Nick first here, Ted. Nick, how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. Had a really busy weekend so far, but yeah, no, it's been good. It's unfortunately we're getting more of the wet weather, and we've been forecast heavy snow and 100-mile-an-hour winds next week, so we're looking forward to that. But yeah, other than that, life's good. Can't grumble.
Wow. Well, it's good to know that you're busy. I'm just dealing with my cell phone. You don't need to be interrupted with that.
No, it's fine.
So, you all set to do readings today, Nick?
Yeah.
It's always a pleasure to work with you guys, and I want to announce today, because it's happening right after the VVFM show, you and I are actually embarking on a new show on Blog Talk called Spirit Channel, and it will be a show dedicated to readings, and it is such an honor to be able to work with you in that regard, Nick.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it, actually. I think it'd be really interesting. Obviously, I love the way that you work. It's an honour to be working with you. I just think it's going to be a great show. It starts at 10:30 on Blog Talk Radio. So
Yes,
it's an hour show.
2:30 Pacific on this side of the pond, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Yeah, it will be.
Yeah, looking forward to it. So today we have a full hour of readings here on VVFM, and then we break for half an hour, and hopefully we will be able to all migrate over to the Blog Talk as the Spirit Channel and continue on with some readings for another hour or so. Ted, Mr. Ted, Reverend Ted.
I'm here. Hello. You're going to ask about my week?
Welcome. And, I think it might be a good idea if we set the stage for the readings right away so we can get to as many people as possible within this hour. So how about that 1 minute me moment?
Let's go straight into it, folks. Yes, the 1 minute me moment. I'm the Rev Ted. I'll bundle through it. I've done a video, actually, which is up on social media, Facebook now. So if you ever want to just sort of be reminded, you can either come on to listen again on these shows, or you can just pluck it from my area on, as I say, social media. The 1 minute me moment is just a plan, just an idea that we don't take enough time out of our days for ourselves in general. Everybody's guilty of it, myself included. And so I came up with a couple of years ago just the idea of having 1 minute out of your day, 60 seconds. And the simple method for doing it: pick a moment in the day where you maybe have a bit of peace and quiet just for literally that length of time. Find yourself a quiet space, sit down, put your feet on the ground, and close your eyes and concentrate on your breathing to start with. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth, and in through your mouth and out through your nose. And at the same time, imagine that you're grounded. Grounded is very simple, or grounding is very simple to do. If you have trouble visualizing, ask your guides, ask your spirits, just ask out there, and they will do it for you. My method, if you choose to try and do it, which isn't that difficult, but as I say, we'll have problems sometimes visualizing things, is to imagine a vine between your ankles, joining them. And then another vine from the middle of that one going down, 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 deep into Mother Earth, and attaching itself around a big boulder, a rock, or a tree trunk, and that's grounding you to stop you floating off etherically. So you're breathing, you're grounded, and then throw this eggshell of protection around yourself, an aura of protection, any colour you like, any colour that resonates with you. I personally like gold and white because I think they're pure colours, but that's my call, my choice. So the three things now: the breathing, the grounding, and the protection of the eggshell around you. And then just spend that minute, 60 seconds, connecting to spirit, to guides, to wherever. It can be your guides. If you resonate with Native American, go for that. If you resonate with the Buddhist way of doing, go with that. If you resonate with the angelics, which is my sort of thing, go for that. Or connect with loved ones who have departed the earth plane, your grandmother, your mother, father, children, whatever. Just connect with them because they are there. Energy can never die, and so they are there in spirit. And do that for a minute each day. And you may find that it goes to 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes over a period of time. But essentially, if you just get that 1 minute and 60 seconds in each day, it's a very, very small drop in the ocean of each day. And once you've done it, you've done it. And if you get in the habit of doing it, it's a good thing to do. And I have good feedback from people about it so far. And in fact, when I put it up on social media, I did get a very positive response from it, which was quite encouraging. And even if only one person hears a message from me or anybody else, you know, job done. Be nice if it went out to hundreds and thousands in the future. But as I say, if just one person resonates with it and it makes a difference to them, then it's a job well done. So that's it in a nutshell. That's the Rev Ted's 1 minute me moment.
And as usual, I chime in with try it, then deny it. It is worthwhile, and it does tend to morph into more than a 1 minute me moment just because it feels so good, right? So today we're going to embark on readings. Thanks, Ted. I really appreciate you sort of getting the energy, just the right vibe, so that readings can flow, hopefully easily. So, so I hope you have your cards ready anyway. So I think what we're going to do today is the same as we did a few weeks ago, and that is if you do have a microphone and you do want to come on the platform with us, because it is a little easier just for the reciprocation of information here. If you do come on the platform with us, if you're too shy to come on camera, that's fine. As long as your microphone works, that might be great. If you don't have either, or you just are very settled in your ways and you prefer just to do it in chat, that's fine too. We'll get through them as quickly and as accurately as we can. So is there someone in the chat room now that would like to have a reading? And these readings, I have to let you know, they're going to cover a lot of territory. Nick and I are obviously psychic mediums, and we will be able to connect with loved ones who have transitioned back to non-physical for sure. But there's also life guidance that can occur from time to time, so your bases will be well covered. Then we have Ted. Ted is going to offer, I don't know what cards you're going to use, Ted.
Angel cards, and one threw itself out at me, and as I was sitting here listening to you, and it occurred to me that they may take a little time to warm up in the chat room. Hi Jan, hi Heather, hi everybody, and Christy. That card's been thrown out for a reason, and my immediate reaction was that was meant for error, so I did another two. So you'll have to just accept that if you're willing to take a little reading off me, Era, while they warm up in the chat room, yeah?
Sounds good to me. Yeah.
Good with that? Okay. I've got to get my glasses on. At least I borrowed my late mother's glasses. I say late mother, she's still there, as we always say. And I'm going to say at the top of the show, and I'm only going to say it once, that I'm not experienced in card reading, but judging by the last time we did readings, they do appear to channel through me when I come to do it. So I'm now an old hand at it, having done it once and done it quite nicely. Thank you very much to the angelics. But I may not have the patter or the chit-chat that Era and Nick have, you know what I mean? It's not a good expression. But I'm going by past, present and future when the cards come out. That seems to be a nicely condensed way actually to do the cards. And remember, folks, that when I do this and people use a tool, it is just simply to get the energy going and to just sort of connect up there as humans to spirit. It's not like a telephone line or an immediate conversation going on in the head. It's just this very subtle steering towards reading for someone. At least that's the methodology that I'm using, following up from other people that I know who do them. Some do platform work, which I find rather scary, the idea of doing that. Others do it on a one-to-one, which is slightly less sort of intense. I'm now doing it to people who are listening and watching and hoping. So yeah, that's what came in my head, and that's what I'm going to do for Era. So we'll see how we go with this, and they'll be spot on because they're awesome to me. So the one that threw itself out for me, Era, today, Yvonne, and I'm using the Messages from the Angels, the Doreen Virtue, and they've always been good to me. I don't pick them out very often. Over the years, I've maybe picked them out once or twice a year. But they were pretty, and I like the look of them, and so I bought them quite a few years ago. But when I did open them up just to ask a question, my goodness, folks, it's absolutely amazing how spot on they were. So whilst I'm not a regular user of them, they have proved to be so accurate on the occasions that I've used them. Now, enough waffling, Woodroff. Era, you've got Yvonne, and I'm going past, present, future, so there's just something in the immediate past which is telling you this, which is interesting. You have a special bond with animals. Your pets on earth and in heaven are watched over by angels. That's the message from the past. Have a little think about that and see if it makes sense to you. Patience in the present. This is the angel Patience. Now is the time to learn and study and gather information. Enjoy being a student, because in the future you will synthesize your knowledge into action.
Okay.
I'll take my scary eyes away from the screen. I look a bit...
Yeah, maniacal.
Oh, thanks. At least it's not satanic. And then in the immediate future, maniacal. That's a really good word. Azure, in your immediate future. You've got to have a giggle while we're doing the cards here. Azure, the angel Azure, which is very feminine by the look of it. Your desired outcome, I'll start it again, your desired outcome will occur in the very near future. Have patience and faith, and don't try to force it to happen. So what I'll do, I'll go back over those again, and maybe you could just give me a little feedback as to the veracity or the accuracy of them. In your case, the past was Yvonne. You have a special bond with animals. Your pets on earth and in heaven are watched over by angels. How did that sort of sit with you?
That was fine. I do have pets that have made their transition, so always nice to know. And yeah, that fits.
Cool. Cool. That's good. As long as it's fine, I can live with fine. Then patience in the present is now the time to learn, study and gather information. Enjoy being a student, because in the future you will synthesize your knowledge into action.
Yeah, that's actually quite uncanny when I think about it for a moment. I like to consider myself a perpetual student. I'm always learning. I'm always on that curve. But lately, you know, it isn't that you go up a level, it's just that a new curve starts and it presents something different. And that's where I am now. So lots of learning is going on, and it's actually quite exciting. So I don't know if patience, I'm very patient in that regard. It's like I'm loving the learning curve and what it's bringing me. So I haven't hit the impatience level yet, but if I do, I will remember this card.
That was really interesting, because as you started talking, you resonated so with something I was talking about with two people this past week only, and you hesitated as you said level, and then you said that curve, and we were in each conversation when I was with the individuals, we were trying to think of the best way of describing it, because there's no rank, there's no hierarchy, there's no better than.
Exactly.
And we kept doing the hand movements of the curve upwards. That was the best way to describe it. So there's clearly thank you. And as you spoke, in came, and again, the angelics, which is kind of cool for me, because although I know they're there, I get that oomph of energy as confirmation and
Right.
chills.
Yeah, it's that learning curve. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
You can feel it when it takes root, and you know when you're soaring with it. You almost feel the dip, and then all of a sudden there's acceleration, and it's really quite exciting. So yeah, and I agree. We're all equal. We're all learning. And
Precisely, and I think we all of us in this service industry, for want of a better expression, recognize the fact that we may have quite a deal of experience, but we are modest in that because we do realize that we don't know everything, despite appearances and despite people looking at us as though we are so sometimes extraordinary, etc., and they come to us for advice. The truth is that we are truly, and we do believe that and know that in ourselves, that we are still students, and we will be until we make the transition, and then onwards and upwards, literally, to study more in the heavens. So I think that one actually ran really neatly into your immediate future, which was Azure, because your desired outcome will occur in the very near future. Have patience and faith. So it repeats the patience and faith, but it's not suggesting you're not patient. I think it's reaffirming that you are patient. In other words, patience is a watchword of yours. Have patience and faith, and don't try to force it to happen, which is kind of what you said about how you are.
Yeah, well, it's that pivotal moment where you have that epiphany that you understand everything just is, and it's going to be, and you can't direct the river, you can't rush the river, and it's much easier and far more enjoyable to simply go with the flow of it.
Your words are my words, as always. Colin Holt, I just noticed that Colin's made a comment about what are the chances of a chat-only evening. I imagine that's something that Nick Eyre and I will discuss in the future, and or if there aren't takers in the chat room for readings, but I'm sure there will be. Also, a number of people have put in where they are in the world. Interestingly, and there's someone just up the road from me, and someone down the road, and someone where I'd like to be in northern Spain. So hi again to everybody. I'll hand back to Era to see whether she spotted anyone who would like a reading from us, guys.
Well, thanks for that, Ted. Really, truly appreciate it. And, you know, the angel cards are fascinating. So thank you for that, that little bit of information there. So, Nick, do you want to come on camera? That would be great. I think Christy in the chat room is asking for a reading. I don't think we're going to be able to get her on the platform. She's unsure as to how the mic works, and instead of trying to go through the technicalities of things and taking up time, we best just hit the ground running. And Christy, if you do have a question, please post it in the chat room and we will address it. And the same for you, Jan. I see that you are wanting a reading too, so just post your questions in the chat room. Now, Nick, it's always interesting when we have mediums like working together. We all work so differently. There isn't really a medium that works the exact same way as another. There can be similarities for sure, but how does it work for you, just as we're waiting for the questions to pop up on the screen?
Really, for me, you know, I see the spirit majority of the time, but there's always that time when the spirit energy isn't strong enough, or the vibration between us isn't great enough. So then we have to use different ways of communicating. So I do hear them, and then obviously I can visualize them as well, just by their feeling, how they feel to me. So I can give you ideas of what they were like on the earth plane, their personality, etc. But yeah, 99% of the time I see them standing before me, but it's never one is the same as the next. It's always different. So you have to work all the time. It can be really hard work.
That's so true, and I never have actually verbalized that before, but it is. They're all so different. And the thing that really amazes me is, like you, I see, I hear, I sense, and they compel me to say certain things at certain times. But really, in essence, they use all our five senses in order to communicate. And so some will find it easier to be heard, some will find it easier just to be sensed, and how we connect with that vibration and interpret it lightning speed sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jan wants a general reading. Okay. What I'll do...
I noticed that Chrissy's put in there before Jan that she would like a general, but if there's a question that would be to be asked, it would be a job and finances, or anyone from a message from love the other side, just a bit further up. And do you know, can I just say something while we're looking at that, because I've been asking. You mentioned Christy before, so and I've got this lady standing. She's looking over my monitors at me, and she's wanting to talk. So I just pass on this very brief message, because I want to go to, if Chrissy can type pretty fast, okay. I feel that this woman is very motherly from the way that she comes forward to me. So I do want to go to mum in spirit, or at least grandmother in spirit. She tells me she would have passed quite sudden, but there was also a health issue around her. So I don't know if you can clarify that for me, Christy. So, but she wants you to look beyond the illusion of what's going on around you, because there seems to be a lot going on around you, and you're getting lost in your path and the things that are going on. So it's like you're being swallowed up, she says. So I just need Christy to confirm this lady for me.
So Christy, if you can sort of type in as we go, that would be helpful. This is why mics and cameras work so well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because there's
you can see the nods and the shakes.
Yeah. So she has responded. She says, "My
mother." Okay. I have to say she's a beautiful looking woman. Okay, but when I look at her also, I don't. It may be because she's bending over, looking over the monitors, but I don't think she was that tall. But she has fairly long hair. But she tells me that she would have had it cut short also. But she remembers, and she really enjoyed having long hair. Okay, and she keeps going like this with it. So and she's showing me her teeth. So she had good teeth as well. So I don't know if that's correct, but good teeth. But as I said before, she keeps saying to me. Okay, let go of your ambitions. I don't know why she's saying that, but let go of your ambitions. Is that the right word? Ambitions? She keeps saying ambitious, and just go for what you actually want to do. Okay, you've got to go for what you actually want to do. She keeps showing me lots of papers and lots of forms. So either she's been saying that actually you've been writing out lots of like applications or letters, so you've been writing to people, but actually this is a bit of a waste of time because you can already do what you want to do. I don't know why she wants me to say that to you, but that's what she's saying to me. Okay, now she is also talking about working from home. So there's a situation around you where you might need to work from home, or you have been working from home, maybe that's what it is, and you need to look more at that. But okay, she just said freelancing. Freelancing is coming to mind, so I don't know if that's, I don't know what you want to do, but she keeps saying freelancing, so spread yourself out more and get yourself that revenue of clients. Say again, can I have a quick look? Just very briefly, what is that? Hello, who are you? Okay, right, thank you. And the gentleman's just stepped in as well to join in the conversation, and he wants me to really taller than mum. I would say quite slender from what I can see. He's got his hair brushed to one side, but very neat also. Quite thin in the face. I think. Oh, okay, right, thank you. So he tells me actually he would have passed the spirit quite quick also, and he goes to his chest. Okay, so I don't know if this is dad because he wants me to go to dad's side of the family, or it is dad, and he's going very fast over to spirit. But he's confirming everything your mum is saying. You've got to be yourself, he's saying. He's fed up of seeing you actually doing things for other people rather than yourself, and you've got to act and start doing them for yourself, okay? So I don't know if you want to confirm any of that for us, because he's a strong but lovable character, quite a handsome gentleman as well. And I think actually, say again, that's my baby. Okay, right. So you and him had a particular bond, okay, father-daughter bond. That's what I'm getting with this. If you want to confirm that for us, that'd be great. Everybody's disappeared now. It's just me on the screen. So sounds like dad. Okay. Now, your question is for work. Okay, so I think I've answered it. You've got to do something for yourself. And I'm going to pass it over to other people. Please take that love from Spirit, pass it over to Erin and see if she can link onto that as well.
Okay, thanks for that, Nick. And what I want to say very, very quickly here is that you seem to be, just your energy, it seems to be that you're going through a lot of changes. You're making different choices than what you've made in the past. And so I feel this clearing out of the old so that you can now allow the newness in. And when I say the newness, I think it has a lot to do with the people around you. You're gravitating towards a new circle of people, but you really are clearing out the old and in with the new, and that's really kind of indicative of the brand new year, right? But this year, more than most years, it feels that you are very keen on making that change, and so keep going. There's going to be a lot of changes for you this year, and it's all going to, and I want to say changes this year, don't get all twisted. Change is good, and these are really good changes because they come to me as rewards more than you doing without. You've been doing without many things for quite some time, and now it's your turn to establish yourself in this different new vibration that allows a lot of things that you've been wanting to come into your reality. So there is going to be a job. It can be any which way that you would prefer it to be, but you've got to be very, very clear, and that's where you have the most challenge with things, is that you think you know, but you keep changing your mind, and so that brings confusion into the mix, and so you get a little bit of this, but not enough of that. So you just want to be very clear on what it is you want, because I'm telling you, Christy, you are one powerful, magnificent being, and you are here to create and create responsibly. So use your focus appropriately, and you will bring in everything that you have been wanting for ever so long. I really want to tell you that 2016 is your year, and the job is going to come. You just have to be very clear on what it is that you want. If you want to work from home, then that's what you need to start preparing right from your mindset out, if that makes sense to you. So you need to kind of live it first within yourself before you can actually realize it in your manifestations, in your reality. So it's time for you now to just get that clarity going and keep it going, and know, just absolutely know. And if you can't know, at least have faith that everything is going your way, because this year it is. The only way it can stop is that if you decide that you're doubtful. When you're doubtful, that's when you close the door on everything. So just keep up the good vibe, and dust away all things that are not in alignment with who you have become. You've gone through so much in your life, and each event has caused you to become more than you ever thought you could be. So now is the time to say, this is Christy, this is who I am, this is what I want, this is where I'm going. Watch me fly. This is your time. So hang on tight, keep faith, and keep your vibe up, because you're really going to fly this year. Hope that's helpful. Ted?
Ooh, that's really interesting, because that so resonates with the cards. I've done something unusual, actually. I've swapped two cards over because I was kind of told to, that the future comes to the past and the past goes to the future, the way they did come out. Because one, they make more sense, and two, because I was kind of guided to do it. But it's interesting how that really so follows on from what Era was saying about the positive attitude that you can and should have about where you've been and where you're going to end up. And they are absolutely confirming all of this. The first one, which is now just your recent past, Christy, is Angel Ray, R-A-Y-E. And I will repeat them, so don't panic if you don't quite get the gist of what I'm saying the first time. Yoga and exercise are essential to your well-being, peace of mind, and spiritual growth right now. So, and I also feel that past, as with most of these readings with these cards, they blend into each other, so it's kind of past and present blending, and then the present blends very quickly into the future. So I'll read that one again. The past blending into the present is a yoga exercise or a plan, and are essential to your well-being, peace of mind, and spiritual growth right now. And then Maya is the present, but again a little bit of the past going on and blending into the future as well. That schooling, study and education will help your life's purpose and personal growth at this time. The angels will guide you and help you with this process. That's Maya. So this is sort of sound advice from above and the angelics. Leading into Aurora, the future, which is very encouraging, that you're going to be flying, well, they're saying you're flying high right now in your future, which may threaten others, but don't descend, because others will soon become inspired by your example. So through those three cards, I read that they're encouraging you to do yoga and exercise. They're saying to do some schooling, study, and educating yourself with your life's purpose. And then that you will be flying high. So it's very positive and very much sort of from leading on from what Era was saying. And I see you say you need to start moving around more. Well, certainly they're picking up on that, that yoga and exercise are essential to your well-being. And you're not alone in the need to do that sort of thing. So that's what I get, Ray, Maya, and Aurora, and I'll just run through very quickly what they said. Yoga and exercise is essential to your well-being, peace of mind, and spiritual growth. Leading into schooling, study, and education, helping your life's purpose, and the angels will guide you and help you with the process. And then the future, which is supremely positive, you are flying high right now. Do not descend. Don't allow others to threaten that, because others will soon become inspired by you and your example. Hope that helps.
Well, you know, that is quite a connection, because that's basically what all of us have been saying, right?
Yeah.
Well, let us know what you think about that, Christy, and just make your notes in the chat room, and we'll be sure to have a look at them. Thank you so much. The next one up is Jan. And Jan, Nick, if you want to come in. Jan was asking for just a general reading, and the thing I want to say, sorry Nick, I'm going to take over. I'm just going to do this because you might take a moment to get the mediumship aspect of things. But right away, Jan, I want to say that every time I say your name, everything sort of lights up in green. Now, green, the color of green is all about healing, but it's also to do with growth. When you think about grass growing, it grows rather quickly. And you're going through a very, very, it's been a long haul for you is what I want to say, but you are growing and you're healing through something from the past. So keep going. That's what I want to tell you, is just to keep going and treat yourself gently and believe in yourself, because I really feel that there are some people around you who have a tendency to minimize who you are. And while that doesn't completely make you doubt who you are, it can often have an effect on you and your vibration, in that, you know, you start to minimize yourself, and that isn't going to work for you. And I really feel this strength coming from you through this growth process, where you're going to stand your ground, you're going to stand on your own 2 feet, and you're going to declare, this is me, I'm Jan, and it's okay to want what I want, and it's okay to be who I am. And now is the time for you to do that. I also want to talk about mother here. For some reason, I'm picking up a female energy. And if it's not mother, it's mother's mother, if that makes sense to you. I want to say that September is a significant month, either to you, to her, or someone else in the family. And I'm also getting that, wow, okay, there's something going on with the circulation in this woman before she passed. So it could have been a stroke, it could have been a congestive heart failure, it could have been something along those lines. It was a very long condition that she suffered. It wasn't a quick passing, but she did she was kind of debilitated at some point. You know, I really feel it in my arm, down my right side for some reason. So just know that she is around you. I'm sorry. I go quiet when I work. This does not make for good radio or a good show. Um, uh, July is a significant month as well, I'm being told. So July is either a birthday, an anniversary, or an event of passing. So okay, great. That's your mom, and she did pass in September. That's who I'm picking up then. And there's also a July acknowledgement here, so I'm not quite sure what the significance is for July, but I will leave that with you. She's talking about brother, so you must have a brother, is that correct? And if it's not yours, it must be hers. She's showing me a great big bridge between you and another male in your life, possibly brother. And she's just sort of saying, don't worry about that. If we all came here to live our lives and be exactly the same, then we'd all be redundant, right? So allow people to be who they are, and you are in control of who you engage with and when. So, you know, it's all good. It's all good, and there's nothing that you need to fix. And you're coming out of a very long tunnel, it feels like to me, and you're seeing sunshine for the first time in a long time. So keep happy. Keep going, and you are supported. There are those around you who are supporting you in the physical for sure, but your mom and this male that is around you, they're really supporting you as well. Just because you can't see them doesn't mean that they're not there. So I will leave that with you. Nick, is there something you wanted to add?
I can segue in if he's just having a brief moment. I think I know Jan, as it happens, and I will give way to Nick really quite quickly. But if it's the Jan I do know, then I know the first part. I don't know the details so much of the family with her, but the first part was extraordinarily spot on. Past, present, and future for you, Jan. And I've done it literally just by the cards that jumped out. So let's see. And I haven't read them yet. Okay, a new romance is imminent. That doesn't necessarily mean romance. It may be something in a development of what you're wanting to do with your life, a romance with job being of service, a new outlet for the healing or whatever. Or connection, I would imagine here, because it says either with a newcomer or through a Oh, I see. Okay, let's read that properly here. New romance is imminent, either with a newcomer or through reignited passion in an existing relationship. Be open to giving and receiving love. I think, yeah. No, it's you. Yeah, makes sense. Into the present, your desired outcome will occur in the very near future. Have patience and faith and don't try to force it to happen. That's Azure. I'll read that again because that is spot on. Your desired outcome will occur in the very near future. Have patience and faith and don't try to force it to happen. How spot on is that? These glasses, and I'm being told off in the chat room by Colin, who seems to have some ophthalmic experience, but I'm all right reading them sort of if I'm close up to them. May for you, Jan, in the future, schooling, study and education help your life's purpose and personal growth at this time. The angels will guide you and help you with this process. Well, from what I know and what you're planning and what you're about to do, I think we're spot on. Quick run through those. Chantel with the new romance in the existing relationship, and be open to giving and receiving love. And I think you know where that's coming from, to receive it. Where you give so much, be open to receiving more and allowing people to do more for you. As you're in the present running into the future, your desired outcome will occur in the very near future. Have patience and faith and don't try to force it to happen. Just let it flow, let it happen naturally, and it will happen, along with the future, which is schooling, study and some education to help with your life's purpose and personal growth at this time. And that the angels will guide you and help you with the process. perhaps not surprisingly from what we know. So that's my reading of the cards for Jan, and I know without even answering that they're pretty spot on, but it'd be interesting to get some feedback nevertheless. Over to Nicholas.
Oh, okay, right. Jan, do you know, while Era and Ted have been talking, I've been plotting away here on the keyboard, but this gentleman keeps wanting me to talk and convey his gratitude to you, because he tells me that you would have helped him quite a lot towards the end of his life. He wants me to go to your father's side of the family. I do believe this would probably be father. I have to say, quite a handsome chap, but quite rugged looking also. And I could also, as I'm talking to him now, because when I stopped talking to him, he started to back away a little bit. But now he's like, oh, hang on, you're talking about me now, so I'll come back in. He's actually smoking, so I can see lots of smoke around him. So I don't know if you can confirm this link to be your father in spirit, because there's a bit of interesting information that he wants to pass on to you as well, which is the fact that actually 2016, actually let's go back a little bit, 2015 and towards the end of 2015 have been a little bit stale. He said things didn't quite move as in the direction or the way that you were hoping to. And he's telling me actually 2016 is going to be a lot more rapid, he said, and you need to hold on to your okay, you understand, but would you also understand, so he would be a fatherly figure then, because he does come forward in that manner. So even if you if it's not your father, it would be that manner. But he keeps talking about the fact that things around you in 2016 are going to be changing an awful lot. He did say there's going to be some not so good things because you have to clear out the clutter, and I believe someone else has said that as well. Either Area or Ted has said that you've got to clear out a few things, but it leaves way for all the good things that are coming in. I do want to say also about some sort of relationship change or moving forward. It doesn't mean it's a partner or love relationship, but a relationship change where someone new is coming into your life to pull you into the next stage and to help you along. There could be an attraction there, because I'm being told there could be an attraction, but I'm not feeling that, okay? I'm actually just feeling that it's probably more to do with they come into your life to help you move forward. Now, I'm also being told that there are things that you do need to get rid of, and I keep being shown boxes and boxes of things that are either you've stored things in or you're collecting things in, and you just need to put them in the bin, get rid of them, because it's old stuff and you don't need it anymore and it's holding you back. But while I'm talking, there's a little lady walked in. I don't know if it's connected to you, so I'll feed it for you anyway, okay? A little lady, sweetheart, who are you? On. Sweetheart, there's a little lady that's just popped in, and she just said to me, yes, I'm on mum's side, and she's like this. I'm on mum's side, so I feel like she's older generation, so grandmother. But she would have been, do you remember those in the 70s and early 80s, those ladies, the old women would have worn that bit of plastic over their head when it was raining? But it's like that. She's wearing something like that on her head. But she looks, I don't want to sound awful to you, sweetheart, I've got to try and describe you, a bit dumpy. I don't know if you can confirm that. Ted, don't laugh. A bit dumpy, okay?
Michael.
But it's the only way I can explain it. She's short and she's just a bit dumpy. But I need Jan to confirm if this is with her. But why are you come forward to that? Say again? Okay, she's given me a couple of months here as well. She's talking about July and August that are connected. Okay, so that's grand. Okay, July and August are connected to her, but she remembers quite a lot about things that are about you also. Okay, say again. Okay, I don't understand. She just said cherry picking, but I don't know what it is, and I don't want to take up too much time trying to figure it out. Say again, sweetheart. Oh, right, okay, right, thank you. So, Jan, do you also understand that you have some sort of jewellery of hers? She keeps holding my wrist, okay, so she I think it's like a bracelet or something like that. Okay, then she's saying that you have this or if you haven't, you should have this, but you have this. But she keeps holding my left wrist. Taking it out. Okay. So I don't know if you want to confirm that, or somebody in the family has got this, okay? But she's also talking about lots of books. So I know that she would have. She's not telling me that she would do a lot of reading, but would you understand piles of magazines, lots of magazines? I don't know if you collect lots of magazines, but I can see lots of magazines or books. Okay, but it's magazines. Thank you, sweetheart. It's magazines. So, but she's trying to tell you. Oh right. Okay. Well, there you go. But she's talking about these magazines, and it's like it's like saving it for a rainy day, but you shouldn't be. You should just be getting on out there, if that makes any sense. You've got too much to do rather than putting your head in these magazines. Stop wasting your time and stop wasting your money. That's what she's talking about, okay? But I think the message for you, sweetheart, from both these lovely people is, say again, my friend, what would you want to say? Right. Okay. The gentleman, do you understand the name of Dan? Dan? I don't work with names, so I don't mind if you say no, but Dan, okay? He's telling me that he comes forward to you quite a lot, so I believe actually he probably worked with you spiritually as well. I know in the chat room you just said that he was a mentor, but I think he continues to be a mentor for you, and you should take, you know, a lot of peace with that as well. Okay, he just said, yeah, just get on with it. It was quite pushy, okay? And he's showing me a ruler, so I know that he's tapping his hand with a ruler, and you've got to get to the point. But I'm going to leave it there for you, okay? Please take their love, because they are fantastic. They're lovely people. Okay? There you go. Over to you.
Perfect. Awesome. Way to go, Nick. So, oh, that's interesting. He's Lakota Sioux. Yeah, okay, Jan, you want to, oh, good, Colin. Colin's having trouble hearing and seeing the show, but now he's rebooted and all things are fine. So, Jan, if you could just sort of do a quick summation for us and put it in the chat room, that would be awesome. And thanks, Nick. That's pretty cool. That was pretty cool. So we have 2 more requests. Let's see if we can hammer through these. Heather is up next, and Heather, gosh, I haven't even, I've known Heather for quite some time, but we haven't really been in contact very much for almost 10 years, so this is going to be rather interesting, right? So Heather, I know that you were asking for a general reading, and what I can tell you is that just with the energy that is, I'm sorry, I'm getting a couple of things coming through for you. There is a real desire on your part. You really want to be able to balance things out in your life between the responsible adult thing to do and the I just want to have fun and be creative side of you. For the longest time, you've been having to give your attention to that adult responsible side and not so much into the playful and creative side. And you do have this marvelous creativity that really needs to express itself. So I would recommend that, you know, you just give it your all and see how far that takes you, because what I'm saying, what I'm really sensing here with you is that the passion has to shine. It has to come through, and when you do that, all things come from it. So you can't sort of say, well, I can't do that because, you know, over here I have to be responsible and do that. The Council of 12 is always very clear with me. It's do both. So as much as you can, do both. Things will settle down for you. I want to say February, that's really interesting. February, which is just a few weeks away, is going to be one of your power months. So, you know, strap yourself in. You're going for a great ride. Vibrationally, there's going to be a lot of newness that pops up quite unexpectedly, which can sort of undermine your grounded Virgo nature, right? I don't know if you're like me, but I have to plan on being spontaneous. So there's going to be a lot of newness come in that's going to give you the opportunities to get out there and have a lot of fun and really express your creativity. I think that creativity is going to really start to expand in ways that you don't expect right now. You might have thought of different areas of creativity that you might want to give your attention to, but you haven't as yet. You're going to have opportunities to do all sorts of things. What you're doing now is actually is the jumping off point to where you're going to end up. So tackle everything that comes in, and the responsible part of you is always going to be there being responsible, but whenever you're not having to be there and doing that, immerse yourself in the creativity part of life, because that's where all things are going to come for you. You're here this lifetime not so much to be the nose to the grindstone type of energy. You're here to respond to your soul song, and you're doing that but not enough. So what is being encouraged here is that you really immerse yourself and let your soul really start directing the traffic this lifetime. You'll be glad you did. And this year is a perfect foundation for you to begin doing that. I can't really emphasize that enough. So if you're looking for that balance, that's how you're going to get it. You cannot let one rule over the other. Just as much as we are masculine and feminine, everything has a balance. And you will find that balance. You just have to give the creativity and the playfulness its rightful place as well. I hope that's been helpful. Ted?
Yeah, this will be interesting, because while you were talking, they suggested the fourth card as an overriding based on the first three, so I'll come to the fourth one in a moment. Interestingly, we're getting quite a lot of repeat cards out of however many there are, 44, 50 cards. So there's obviously sort of similar-minded people in the room watching and listening tonight. Heather, this is absolutely cold because I don't know you at all or whatever, so I'm going with what I'm given. And here goes. First time I've read them, so let's see what they're offering as far as the past sort of segueing into the present. What they say: we have Azure. Your desired outcome will occur in the very near future. Have patience and faith, and don't try to force it to happen. I'll read that again. Azure says, your desired outcome will occur in the very near future. Have patience and faith, and don't try to force it to happen. And coming into your present, Rochelle, which is a new one tonight. As you honor and follow the guidance of your heart, prosperity is coming to you now. So that's quite encouraging. So let's see what the future one says, which is Chantel. And this is the new romance one. Now, this may not, as I said before, necessarily be in the personal relationship type of thing. It may be a new relationship with regards to work, career, or connections with others. But it may be romantic, who knows? It says a new romance is imminent, either with a newcomer or through reignited passion in your existing relationship. Be open to giving and receiving love. And then drawn very, very strongly to do a fourth, which is unusual, but just as a sort of catch-all. And this is, again, the first time I read this, so this will be interesting to see what this says. This is the cover-all for the past, present, and future, and probably more the future. A happy move to a new home or place of employment is in the works. This movement will usher in positive new energy. So from that, all is well. All is good. You're going to be prosperous. You've got a new home or place of employment in the works, and it's going to usher in positive new energy. Hopefully you resonate with that, and hopefully all those hopes and desires and wishes that the cards are giving you will come to pass. Over to Nick.
Oh yeah, okay, right, let's have a think about this one, shall we? I have to have a think about it. I don't know why I have to think about it. It's been one long weekend. Heather, I'll tell you what, can you come forward just a bit more? Right, thank you. No, I need to just ask you to come forward a bit more. So, who are you? Right, thank you. Heather, very, very briefly, okay, I've got a lady that's making herself known to me, and she's standing there and she's like this. She's a lovely, lovely energy as well. She wants me to go to your mum's side of the family, and she's grandmother, okay? That's what she keeps telling me. But but she wants you to say it again. How do you want me to say it? Say it again. How do you want me to say it? You want me to? Right. Okay. She keeps saying to me that you need to. Oh God. Stand your ground. That's the wording that she keeps repeating to me. You need to stand your ground. But she also talks about the fact that the working environment around you isn't working, and it's it's not right. It's just not right for you, and you've already known this for some time, and you've been trying to make a change. I don't know if you can confirm that, because it's very bizarre at the moment. Take into it out. Right. This lady also, when she comes over to me, she looked really closely at me. I can see that she's got. Can you just say it again? They look like bluish brown eyes to me. Okay, definitely on your mum's side, definitely a grandmother feeling with this lady. I don't know if you can just confirm that in the chat room. Say again. Now she's also talking about movement around you. So it's about right. Thank you. I know she said taking a stand or holding your ground, but she wants you to actually move forward. Now she keeps talking about someone in your ear all the time and giving you a bit of an earache or grief, and you don't need this anymore, and you need to get shot of this. You need to just back away from that. And her words were, look, just sort your life out. Just sort your life out, okay? I know you said or Era said something about an imbalance, or something in the chat room about say again? Yeah, the balance. Thank you. So I'm just trying to talk to her as well. The balance. But she's talking about the fact that your work is going to be changing. Do you understand this? It's your work. It's the working environment. So, but she's also telling me that you're not actually happy with things or life, personal stuff as well. And I don't want to talk about that live on air. But she's saying that she's aware of this and she comes forward to you. Okay. Okay. Second. Okay. This lady would have had a problem with her chest as well, because she keeps coming forward and she makes me feel like it's hard for me to breathe. I'm just having trouble wanting to talk, and she also makes my head go a little bit wobbly. So it's like she, towards the end of her life, that she would have been slightly in and out of consciousness. I don't know if that makes any sense. She just said January. So this month is important to her, and also it's going to be important to you. Lots of changes. So towards the cusp of January, February, actually I think you'll see a big difference. A lot of light coming to you. Right? Now she just told me that you actually connect to spirit. You connect to spirit, and you need to do more of this. You keep seeing light flashes, smells, and you hear words as well. Can you confirm that? Because you need to carry on with this. I don't know, you just need to confirm, because say again to me. And who are you? Why are we all going in? Who's that? Right? Who? Heather, there's also a gentleman here. He just said he's uncle. Uncle. So I don't know if you want to confirm that as well. Why are you here quickly, sweetheart? Why are you here? Right. Okay. Would you also understand a connection or with this gentleman that's presenting himself as uncle, that would have had problems with polio or something like that? I don't know if you can confirm that for me. You need to type quicker. Okay, right, okay, she smoked like a chimney. Bless her. She's not showing me the smoke, but she's just showing me that actually my lungs and my chest feel really heavy. But do you understand the gentleman link also? An uncle feeling, because he keeps saying to me uncle, but there are polio connections. So I don't know if he had polio or there's polio within the family, okay? That sounds really odd, doesn't it? Second. Right, thank you. He just said to me, actually, do you know what? I know what she's saying, talking about the grandmother, but I want to say something different. He keeps talking about you actually uplifting or derooting and moving to a different place. He just said state or place. So moving to a different place, because that's what you need. He keeps talking about the fact that you like being in the woods. You like being in the woods or in with nature, and that's what you need to do. So either go away for a long period of time and come back, but you need to. That's what you need to do. You need to look for the wilderness. You need to go back to Mother Earth and get your inspiration from that. Okay, don't worry about the polio. It's just sometimes I get all the information, and maybe you can find out from somebody else within the family. But I'm going to leave it there for you. Okay. Please take their love. Please take their love.
Yeah, Nick. From what I know about Heather, nature is attractive.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, so we don't have much time left. Ted, can you mute your mic, please? What we're going to do, thank you. What we're going to do is we have 2 more readings to work through here. Whoops, I just uncameraed myself. We're going to do 2 more readings, and then we have to close up, and then we're all going to move over to Blog Talk and be there for the launch of Nick's new show that I'm sort of co-hosting him with him on the Spirit Channel. And Nick, if you could...
Our new show.
Pardon me?
Our new show.
Our new show, the Spirit Channel, and if you could put the link to that in, we're going to be migrating over there very, very shortly. So let me take Nina. Nina, it's your birthday, and you know, even if you didn't ask for a reading, you probably would have gotten one anyway. So happy birthday, first and foremost, and I just want to just take a second here. Okay. The one thing I want to say, Nina, right off the top, and, you know, obviously I know that your husband has just passed, and that our hearts are all with you on. And the first thing that my counsel is wanting to emphasize for you is the change that's coming up for you. And you don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure that one out, but that is what is in store for you. But the change doesn't need to be dire. It doesn't need to be urgent. It just is. And you, above all people, know how to go with the flow. And so what is being encouraged here is for you just to allow things to be the way they are. I'm also being told that you can't find something that you need. Is there some sort of... There's something that you're looking for that you can't find and you need to find in order to complete something. So I want to tell you that that is going to surface, and the first thing I have to tell you about that is just to forget about it right now, and it'll just be there when you need it. So I do have spirit coming through. I just want to just figure out who it is. The change, One of the changes that you're going to go through is there's going to be a lot of travel for you in coming up, and I want to say in the latter half of the year, and that is going to come as a surprise, and I'm not quite sure why you would be surprised, because it's something that you always sort of tell the universe that you want to do, but I think it's a surprise because right about now you're thinking that's just not even in the cards for you now, but Spirit is saying, no, it is in the cards, and it is going to happen, and you're going to have a great time. So, okay, so you are looking for something in particular. That is going to surface. Try not to spend too much time thinking that you can't find it, you can't find it, you can't find it. Just perhaps get it in your mindset that it's coming to you, it's coming to you, it's coming to you. So you don't have to go to it, it will find you. So, and it will come in a timely way, so you don't have to be too worried about it. So try and keep that fear, you know, diminished somewhat as much as I do. I'm sorry, this is coming in very, very quickly, and it's not giving me much time to work, but I do have a male figure that is coming through, and I wanted, the first thing that he is saying is, my heart is your heart, and that is, and he's smiling when he says that. My heart is your heart, and there's no getting away. There's no getting away from that. It's almost like two peas in a pod. I'm not one to buy into twin flames and all that kind of stuff, because, you know, if there's a twin flame, one of you isn't necessary, right? But there's such a bond here between the two energies, and that and if this is your husband, then this is not your first rodeo with him, and there's going to be plenty more. Mind your P's and Q's, he's saying. I don't know why he wants me to say that, but mind your P's and Q's. All is well. All is well. All is well. It's not as gray and as bleak as what it first appears to be. And I know you know that, but he is wanting to reiterate that. Now, he's also telling me that August is a significant month. I'm not sure if it's significant to him, to you, or someone else in the family. He's also mentioning I'm terrible with vowel names, I'll tell you that right up front. There's an E, is there an Ian, or there's an E-sounding name I'm supposed to mention, and that's supposed to be some sort of acknowledgement there. Now, he's also telling me that it's either August, April. It's April is a significant month as well for some particular reason, so it's either him, you, or someone else in the family. I know we talked about you losing something or not being able to find something, but you did find something that you didn't expect to find. It was a complete surprise. So does that make sense to you? It was like you were just like stunned when you found it, and you just was, oh, you know, like, I can't believe you did this, and you were just so overcome and overwhelmed with emotion at that particular point in time. He's telling me that he was not the kind to want to surprise you very often, because he's very staid, he's very grounded, he's very logical and deliberate in what he does, but he has done something that has just left you kind of incredulous. And the love that comes through from this man is absolutely incredible. And he knows that you can still feel it. He knows you can still feel it, even though right now it's the last thing you want to feel. So just know that he is with you. He's walking you through the entire process, and he's not going to leave your side. And as Spirit is often wont to say at times like this, you just can't get rid of him that easily. You know, you guys are joined at the hip, so to speak, and he's with you every step of the way. So I hope that's been helpful. Ted?
Yes, something really interesting happened right at the top of Era speaking, that I got the touch on the head, and I'm not touched in the head. And that's very significant, because that hasn't happened all evening, and it hasn't happened like that for months and months and months. And it's a very strong presence that comes in when they do it, and it's an angelic touch. But I also suspect it is connected to the recent transition of your beloved husband. So I just wanted to say that. Also, while Ari was speaking, before I come to the cards, I was given Canasta, which is like a card game, and also Las Vegas. I don't know what that's about, but it's almost as though you're destined to go somewhere really dramatic like Las Vegas, and do work in that area. Okay. I'll go through the cards fairly swiftly, because we do need to move on to Spirit Channel with Nick, and he'll please put up the link for it. If he hasn't, we will do. Nina, that was very strong, that touch on the head, and it was a very definite Las Vegas going on, so you may or may not know anything about that. I think you might do, actually, because it was very, very distinct. So the blending of the past, present, and future, bear in mind that they all kind of run into each other, but the immediate past, and this is the first time I've read them. Zana, we have fresh one from tonight. You are protected from all types of harm. The worst is now behind you. I ask you to relax and feel safe. That's the immediate past. So good comfort words there, I would say. Leading to Seraphina in your present. I am the angel of families. A happy change or addition is coming to your family. But as we know, very often as one soul departs, another one enters the zone. So that may be a premonition of what's to come in the future. And it's cool that obviously family do come around at a time like this. And leading and segueing into the future card, Caressa. And I love the fact that you've had 3 completely individual cards tonight, whereas the others kind of were very similar ones, if not identical. Caressa, your immediate future. You're at the end of a cycle in your life. Ain't that the truth? Call upon your angels to comfort you and to guide you to your next step. Happiness awaits you now. So how spot on are those? Just random 3 cards, but not random like we always know. Bang.
Wow.
We had Zana, you're protected from all kinds of harm. Seraphina, the angel of families, and Caressa telling you that you're at the end of a cycle in your life and to call upon your angels to comfort you and to guide you to your next step, that happiness awaits you now. Good with that? Hope that resonates, Nina, which I know it will. And back to Era.
Okay. Thanks, Ted. I love how these cards just continually align. Yeah, random, unlikely, Nina said.
Exactly.
We only have time, and we're running over time. This was supposed to end like 10 minutes ago. We'll do one more reading, and that is for Trish. If you would like to put your question in there in the chat room, that would be helpful. We do have to speed this along because we do have another show to go to, and I hope you will all join us. I have put the Facebook link in there so that you can all find your way to the Spirit Channel, which is the show with Nick and I, and it's geared specifically just for readings. So if you don't get a reading in here today, join us on Spirit Channel, and you might, right? So there we go. So Trish, where is Trish? Are you still here? Let me just check. Yes, Trish is still in the room. So, okay, did you pick some cards there for Trish? Nick, Ted?
Working on it. Got my eyes closed and going with what they do. Oh, nothing's throwing out at the moment. It's I can't make the angels move quickly, Era. They have to do it at their pace. Here comes one.
I know.
You have to be respectful, do you know what I mean? Oh, I'll tell you what, for some reason, the second one out there as well. And, yeah, I know when it's... Okay, I think we've got a 4-carder, but I'll do the last one as an overrider. Would you like me to start then with the cards that have come out?
Yes, do.
No problem. This is for Trish. Just closing my eyes a moment because that just gives me a little bit of oomph sometimes. And a little tickle over my left eyebrow. I'm not sure what that's about. That's a new one. It might just be an itch, it might be relevant, I don't know. So let's have a look at what we've got for Trish here. Past, present, future, and then an overriding one there. First look at them for me. Trish, we start with Athena, Angel Athena, who is saying for your past, segueing into your present, it is safe for you to be powerful. You know how to be powerful in a loving way that benefits others as well as yourself. So that seems to be saying that you are powerful, you are strong, you are able, you are capable, you know it, and others respect that in you. Into Teresa for the present. Time out. You need to take time out. You've been so busy taking care of everyone else's needs, but now it's time to stop and take care of yourself. Now, I know from experience and from others that if the angels say to be kind to yourself, to take time out, that's important and something you need to do, and you need to be selfish in a good way. We had this, I think, last week about selfish, and it's a good thing because it re-energizes you, and then you are capable of giving even more out there once you've done time for you. Not dissimilar to the 1 minute me moment, but perhaps a 1 day moment or a 1 week moment where you spend time being utterly for yourself. That's their advice at the present, which leads to your immediate future, which is Caressa, Angel Caressa. You're at the end. This is interesting. This is a repeat from Nina's. Carissa, but this is for you, Trish. You are at the end of a cycle in your life. Call upon your angels to comfort you and to guide you in your next step. Happiness awaits you now. So I would read from that they are saying you're powerful, you need to rest, but then there's a new aspect coming to your future, in your future life. So they recognize who you are. They recognize that you need to break and have a rest and reassimilate and think and take time for you to even more strengthen yourself. And then this wonderful new future where you are at the end of a cycle, but you need to call on your angels to comfort you in it, but happiness is awaiting. And Serafina as the overall, and this is I always do, is for the first time being read now, I'm pre-prepared this, Serafina, I am the angel of families, and a happy change or addition is coming to your family. So, you may know about it, you may not, but that's the news from the angelic realm, that there is a new addition coming in some respect, or a change in your family circumstances of a positive nature. That's what I get from the angel cards, Trish.
Well, thanks, Ted, and Trish. I really hope that's helpful. It's really interesting. As Ted was doing that card reading, I was really communing with the Council of 12 here, and they're telling me that you're feeling lost because you have managed to kind of give away all your power to everybody else, and they're wanting you to understand that you are making everybody else important and not yourself. So it's time now to take the reins back and say, no, I'm important too. I matter. I matter. And that's exactly where you need to start. When you feel lost in life, it feels really overwhelming, and there isn't one place that you can sort of point to where you feel confident enough to start making changes. And the thing is to stand back and not look at the whole ball of wax, because you're not going to change everything all at once. You just want to take the first thing, and it can be a very tiny thing, but they're encouraging you to do something different for yourself, just for yourself, every day. So when you start to do that, clarity begins to come. And when you're lost, you don't have that clarity. You don't know where you need to be, what you need to be doing. You don't even know what it is that you want to be doing. And really what they're asking of you is just to make small changes every day. When you start feeling that you are overwhelmed and quite lost again and despairing over that, get up, change where you're sitting, change chairs, go change your clothes, do something to change. And when you do that, the vibration changes with it. That is the most ideal place to start for you. And as you incorporate these small changes, the changes have a domino effect, and the greater the impacts that you will realize. You're not lost. You're not. You're here. You're breathing. You are a magnificent and powerful being, and there isn't any challenge bigger than you. So when you get up each day, remind yourself, make that your new mantra, and look at yourself in the mirror and say, I am. That's all you need to do. I am. Don't qualify it. Don't say, I'm tired of feeling this way. I'm not worthy of any attention. Just say, I am. And feel the resonation within your body, because your soul is responding to the name of Source, and that Source is in you. And so allow it to work with you. All is not lost. You're not lost. In fact, it's just the beginning. So try and look at it in terms of a new beginning, as opposed to trying to make something stop. So turn the tables on it, and you'll do fine. I hope that's been helpful. You know, I would love to sit and chat with each and every one of you, and I think Colin is onto something, that we should have a chat night on here. We'll look into that. Colin, feel free to email me your ideas, and they will certainly be considered. It's been absolutely great being with all of you for this past hour and 20 minutes, but now we have to fly. We're going over to Blog Talk Radio. We start in 10 minutes with Nick and Era. So why don't you call in and get a rating? You missed out on the VVFM reviews that we have done today. Thank you so much for your participation. and faces in the chat room. Nick, thank you so much for being a part of it all.
That's great. Love it.
And I see that you're gearing up to get us on air in about 10 minutes over on Blog Talk. Ted, your cards are amazing to me. So let's keep you exercised in that regard, and maybe we'll throw in a few more reading shows now and then.
Can I just read out the telephone number?
Yes, go ahead.
So if you want to call into the Spirit Channel show, you can do. If you're in the US or Canada, I think, it's 619-924-0852. I'll repeat that. 619-924-0852. If you're in the UK, you can Skype in just by clicking the little Skype connection button. You can come straight into the studio. It's going to be a great show. I know it.
All right. Okay. Last words?
Thanks for the opportunity, guys. I know I've been knocking around VVFM for a while, but if I think back a couple of years, I was so not into readings and whatever then. Look at it now. I do enjoy it. It's lovely to give people message. I know it's coming from the angelic sort of realm. With the Nina reading, with the touch on the head, etc., etc. There's an element of that now, the channeling as much as the cards. So, yeah, and it's great to be working with you guys because you are consummate professionals in this. That's the second one under my belt, and it appeared to be good. So yeah, onwards and upwards to Blog Talk. I'll hopefully come and join you in a bit and see what it sounds like. Quite nostalgic going back to Blog Talk for a little session. So yeah, folks, get over there. I will, if Nick's put it up on Facebook, I'll pump the link out there. And thanks, guys, for a great show as always. And thanks to everybody for coming in. And happy birthday, Nina. And it was a pleasure to read for you. And good to see you.
Take care, everybody.
Yeah, we'll see you over at Blog Talk. Bye for now, everyone.
Night.